Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Modiphius and Dune Desertfall. Really excited for tonight. As you can see, we are missing one player. We're missing JPG, who plays Novieh, the Atreides steward. But there's a good reason for that, and it'll come up in the recap. But let's get some quick business out of the way first. Being Dune, we're having a huge Dune event this weekend with Start Playing. If you have a brand new, if you want to just set up a brand new Start Playing account, check out the link in Twitch chat right now, and you'll get $10 free credit toward not just Dune, just toward any game. So if you've wanted to get on Start Playing and look for a game to play, maybe even Dune, that would be cool. Grab that new account, get $10 in $10 credit, and it would be amazing. Speaking of also things that we're giving away, this is rad. One, Star Trek 2nd edition, the Quick Start Guide just dropped for free. Check that out on Modiphius. And also, if you're a Dreams and Machines fan, there is the Archivist competition going on right now. If you have less than 1,000 followers on your social media platforms, and a lot of people do, that is the running average of a ton of streams, a ton of content creators, actual play performers, and all that. Modiphius wants to give you a chance to get a $500 to up your gear, get cameras, microphones, do different advertising. All you have to do is go to dreamsandmachines.com, click competition 2024, and post at least a 1-minute video about Dreams and Machines. Do an unboxing, download the free start guide, do a session 0 with your friends, make some sort of, comedy drama, do finger puppets. Whatever it is, the more creative and the more wild and the more fun, just, get on there. The grand prize, judged by the, folks here at Modiphius, $500. This isn't like, here's like $500 in the store. No, it's $500. Spend it on however you want. The 5 runners up get $100 in the Modiphius store. I wish I only had 1,000 followers or less, because Dreams and Machines is really freaking cool, and I would love to do this. But please go to dreamsandmachines.com and click on competition 2024, and you have until, I believe it's May 15th. Wednesday, May 15th is the last day to enter. And on top of all that, thanks to Lucy McLean and the wonders of Vault 33, Fallout, the 2D20 RPG, is still 33% off at Modiphius. So now that the business is all out of the way, and so I don't sound too raspy, it's time to journey back to Arrakis. Because last episode was a doozy. The day started with a nice breakfast and getting to know the staff, some spicy food, and interesting developments of Novieh getting in with the cook. Lord Reese heading on down and finding a card game and a couple slackers. But last episode, Lord Reese challenged Arvio, the slacker footman of the Arakeen residency, literally to a foot race to see who got to Mara first and who would explain what happened. Arvio lost and tried to talk his way out of it until he was cornered by both Mara and Erzu Reese. He was summarily fired. He is no longer working for the residency and has been told to get off-world. Lord Reese gave him a way out to make contact and head back to Caladan to Minor House Reese and see if he could get a second chance. That's pretty much his only option. Meanwhile, Novieh was wandering around and investigating things. and came into the grand foyer. And there, the Bene Gesserit sisters, Demir Azul and Lyra Du. They were there, and it seemed like a strange altercation happened. We won't say that allegiances were questioned, but Lyra, using the voice, asked Novieh to tell her his truth. And without stuttering, in a slightly meek but forced voice, Novieh admitted that he is a steward of House Atreides, but he is also a House Atreides assassin trained under Thufir Hawat, the Mentat of House Atreides. Hearing this while cleaning up a small broken vase, the housemaid, Aisha, hears this otherworldly happening from Lyra, hears Novieh admit that he's an assassin, and she begins backing up, afraid. Demira, after setting down the book of all of the different staff appointments and responsibilities, began to search Novieh, who very quickly spun out of the way, grabbed the book off of an end table, and rammed it into Aisha's throat, killing her instantly. And his whole countenance changed. Lord Rhys, stepping around the corner as this happened, watched as Novieh, mouth of Aisha covered with one hand, book in the throat, slowly lowering her down to the floor and beginning to wrap her still body. All Novieh said is, "We need to get rid of this." And Lord Erzu corrected him, saying that is not a thing, that is a person. Novieh, being an assassin, tends to go dark at these times. It's easier that way. But reminding him that it was an innocent, beginning to wrap Aisha's body, Lyra whistled, summoning one of her personal handmaidens that from the staff that she has been training and extolling the benefits of the Bene Gesserit to. Shala comes running down the stairs, and almost as if she was ordered, grew calm and began wrapping the body and looked to Lyra and said, "I know where to take this." And Lyra sent Shala and Novieh with the body of Aisha into Arrakeen. So the scene opens. The Bene Gesserit sisters in the grand foyer, Lord Rhys at the far end of it, coming back from the office after having a very productive meeting with Mara, and the sounds of Shala and Novieh's footsteps echoing toward one of the rear hallways. The book, the murder weapon, laying on the floor, bloodless, spine slightly dented. You've all witnessed a murder by one of the other Atreides agents. He's off to take care of it. What's going through your heads right now? Demira, you were immediately the protective one, stepping in front of your sister, just in case she was the target. But you saw Novieh take down this poor, innocent, late 40s woman in a swift blow. What is going through your head right now?
Well, first, I feel like Demira, now that everything has kind of come full circle, because Demira had her own reservations when it came to Novieh, especially with his actions in the Grand Foyer earlier, kind of piecing things together. So that answered that question pretty clearly. But now it raised a bunch of other questions, whether or not this is someone who will pose a threat or someone because of the fact that we all witnessed this murder. We can actually get him through coercion on our side. Different things kind of cycling through Demira's head. But almost like instantly a switch happens and Demira will go to pick up the book in addition to trying to clean that specific area herself. And she probably at a certain point, like in clean, like putting the book, probably trying to like kind of bend it back into place, as if nothing had happened, putting it on the table, sweeping up any remnants of the plate that had smashed. But also too, she's probably going to still head over to that area that she was noticing that Weasel had focused on as well. So kind of cleaning up, but also to kind of moving to that area to try to check that area as well. So it's kind
Okay.
of like she's still trying to like kind of, okay, these are the tasks at hand that we must handle in this moment and see what Weasel was also to up to. Is she
Okay.
someone else to keep an eye on?
Lord Reese, you came around the corner to see that, and immediately that concept and that, that those thoughts you had about the interaction with the water bandits when Novieh had that large porcelain vase and that much larger Arakeen native having shards of porcelain shoved through his chest in very specific areas after Novieh ran into him accidentally. What is going through your head right now?
Um, I think for our zoo, it takes a suspect off the list, so to speak. Because wasn't quite sure about Novieh, but now he at least knows what Novieh is about, and I mean, he saw it pretty plain there. So, uh, I think he suspects Novieh less, if anything. And he understands that he's a danger, but he's a danger under the control of the Atreides right now. So um, his focus is going elsewhere. Like he's storing that information and he's going to keep a closer eye once Novieh gets back, but that's for later.
Lyra, you're the one that pulled the information out of him, suspecting that this whole time that he was not what he seemed, one with the vase accident, two appearing to purposely trip and throw that plate and failing this time. You pulled the truth out of him. You have an Atreides assassin that was sent with the four of you. Where is
Yeah.
your mind? You're the one that made him speak.
I think Lyra's at peace now knowing who exactly she's working with. Um, I, she believes that having all the truth out up front and what everybody's motive is going to make the group work a little bit better. She's noticed that we've all kind of went on our own tracks, so to speak. So it's just kind of like trying to bring the group back together now that we all know each other's truths. She is still hesitant about our zoo, because she hasn't fully heard what his motives are. So she's her eyes kind of like glean to him next. Her mind is also on Shala and making sure that Shala it's safe in doing what she's doing, but also her mind is on Jamila and making sure that Jamila is also okay considering her storyline as well.
Okay. The foyer is, is now quiet. There is just that small dustpan with the remnants of the plate and the whisk off in the corner. And the area, Demira, that Vissel was cleaning, those very fine details of the large sandworm motif that wraps around the foyer. Give me, if you don't mind, a understand roll as you investigate the area around there.
And I do have a focus in that as well.
Okay.
I'm choosing duty because I feel like this is, something that's to me important. Also too in my duty to Lord Arzu.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was a simple just one. Sorry, I didn't explain what the difficulty was beforehand. My apologies. It is just there's nothing there as you're looking. The indentations are seamless. It's been carved. There's no ledge or switch or trap or anything, not even like needles. It seems that Vissel was cleaning it almost, as she reveres it in some way.
Okay.
She was taking great pride in that. And you can see other sections that she had been obviously working on.
Okay.
Just to bring the detail of that relief out to make it far more prominent than it even is.
Would that lean towards possible connection to the Fremen?
Possibly.
Okay. And Demira clocks that and kind of in her Rolodex for later, but continues to make sure that everything is basically spotless in this area, and looks to the two in the room with her. So what shall we do?
Well, we do have an assassin on our hands. So heed with caution is probably the best idea. At least he gave his truth and didn't lie about anything. So Arazu, what's your truth?
Arzu smiles like he saw this question coming yesterday. Now, easy there, sister. You don't have to ask so forcefully. You just had to ask.
Oh, I did.
Oh, indeed.
You've seen what I've done forcefully before.
Mm-hmm. You are quite right in that regard. I am here to do the job that the Atreides have sent me to do. But I am an heir of House Reese. You know how these political things go. Not necessarily trying to usurp anybody, but if I see a way to heighten the station of House Reese, of course.
Well, now that you got the nice answer out of the way, let's try this again. Because my sister has a particular interest in you.
Well, why don't you ask her about that?
I'd rather hear it from you. What is it that you truly want, Arazu?
Play nice, sister.
I am.
Demira, would you leave us for a little bit?
Certainly. I have to dispose of this. And then she she points out the fact that this is actual trash. Like that was kind of a reference to Novieh's earlier statement, but emphasizing actual trash, not human. And on that note, she pivots and gracefully disappears. With book also too underarm.
Lyra, what answer do you want exactly? And I'm going to make sure that we're on the same page here, because you want more than the truth. So don't say that you want the truth. Just what answer are you looking for? What answer are you hoping for? What would satisfy your curiosities? That I was some sort of spy? Would it help if I told you I was out for revenge? What is it exactly that you are looking for?
What's your motive? What makes you tick, Arazu? What makes you thirst for water?
Do you know what do you know of House Reese? What information have you gathered about them?
You're a lower level house. That's all I needed to ever know.
Hmm. Uh, and he kind of chuckles, but like it's not like an amused chuckle. It's like, well, that hurt. What I want, Lyra, is to do right by those who have put me here. You've heard me say a lot over the last couple of days. If you were hoping that there was some sort of mask to slip, I have some unfortunate news for you. There isn't one. If getting RVO off world, giving him a second chance, is what he was hoping for, and if I can give it to him, I'm gonna do it. Perhaps this will answer your question. I've got a mentat friend. They are going to get RVO acquainted with the farm back at House Reese. And by that, I mean a literal farm. And if he doesn't like the work, then he can serve my family in ways that perhaps suit him better. And in that regard, I mean, he can serve, he can fight, or he can quit. But at that point, solely up to him. He's not gone somewhere to never be seen again. At least that's my hope. Hopefully he makes it to Caladan okay. But what makes me tick? People. Putting people in the best place to succeed makes me tick. So when Demira put Wisal in charge, I trusted her to make that decision. I didn't have to tell her to do it. She did it because she believes in what I believe, which is that people are the strength of a great house. Now, I say all this because my hope is that by presenting my perspective, people will come to respect House Reese, come to learn that we are not here for our own interests, we're here for theirs. And if they don't like it, they don't have to follow. But if it serves House Reese and it elevates House Reese, then that is what I am here for.
Bravo. What a wonderful pitch.
You can call it whatever you like, Lyra do.
Lyra walks around Arazu and like moves part of his braids back, gets really close to him. I see what you want now. It's not helping people and it's not helping your family.
Let me guess, it's some sort of desire for God Emperor.
She touches the side of his cheek. No, not what I'm referring to at all. But you'll get what you want. Do you have any questions for me?
You know, Lyra, I do not at this time. And he stays forward, despite how
Surprising.
close she is.
Then I should probably go find my sister.
I think you should, but just if I may, and you can take whatever you like out of this information, but sometimes when you stare deep into the water and you're looking for something, all you're going to see is the bottom. And he makes a move very slowly to step out of Lyra's like immediate range. And if Lyra does not react, he's going to kind of just turn on a heel and just kind of just do like a short little bow. And he's going to exit stage left.
Yeah, Lyra doesn't move at all. She just watches him walk away.
Oh, that's getting tense. Demira, as you leave the foyer, you actually see Talora, the older woman that you demoted effectively, just steaming toward you with a purpose. In her hands is what looks like to be just a cleaning cloth, and she has this haughty, almost how dare you look. And she stops right in front of you and just does a very curt head nod. Ma'am, I've been informed that I am to take over Weasel's duties.
Yes. And remember, she will also too be training you this day forward. Or shall we say a retraining? It was necessary. Any other questions?
No, ma'am. And she kind of steps aside and lets you pass.
Oh, take care of this, will you? And then she basically gives the like the whatever the dustpan type thing. She gives that, hands that over. I believe you know what to do with this. At least I hope. And then she walks past and continues going forward.
She just kind of looks, and you can feel her look at you as you pass by. And she just, there's this palpable, just, how dare you aura coming off of her. And as Lyra and Arzu, as your conversation ends, Talora comes walking around the corner and just looks at the two of you briefly and goes and sets down a dustpan with a whisk and what looks like some broken plate in it, takes out a cleaning cloth and a small bucket of polish that's, hidden within her the layers of her skirt, and you see her and she just begins muttering to herself quietly as she puts some polish on the rag and begins cleaning that brass colored metallic relief of the sandworm that Weasel was cleaning before being dismissed by Demira to go inform Talora that the duties have changed. Erzu, where are you headed? You're in the grand foyer, and it's easy to get out to the main entrance or to the ballroom, back into the basement even, or you can head upstairs to where all the dorm rooms are, including where your guest bedrooms are. You hear staff milling around all over.
I'm heading to the kitchen.
Okay. Super, simple to get there. You just, hang that hard corner, walk through the ballroom. There's no one in the ballroom. You do hear footsteps just leaving. And you walk into the kitchen, and there is that kind of, again, seems lazy, except if there's something to cook. Late 40s woman, Basima, that is still cleaning pots and getting food, beginning the setting up food for tonight's dinner. And she just looks up and kind of nods at you and just keeps going, pulling down some very large pots, beginning to pour some water in there. And she's very careful about putting the water in the pot. And you notice around there's not much splashing anywhere, even where the dishes are cleaned. Once they're clean, the water's been removed from the sinks. Even in a kitchen where water has to be used, it is still treated with respect. And she mostly ignores you. You do see her as she's filling it and grabbing some spices and throwing them into this large hammered metal stew pot. She does glance more or less toward your feet just to make sure where you are in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm more or less kind of standing in the doorway. I'm trying to I want to make sure that she understands that it is not my intent to like get in her way, for lack of better words. Like I'm not trying to invade any space or anything like that. But I will utilize a talent.
Oh.
I'm going to utilize passive scrutiny. I am quick to notice details which may be of importance later. I can ask you a question as if I had used momentum to obtain information, but I don't have to use momentum.
Yeah, you can ask me a question and I have to give you a fair answer. Wow, passive scrutiny. That's a good one.
Just felt it may come to naught, but I was like, I gotta use these things. I want to know, like, how, like, is there like a level of expertise to Nava's cooking that belies uh some sort of a talent? I guess it's kind of a vague question, but like, I want to know, like, how serious does she take this job as basically as a cook? I want to see if this is, if she's, if her talents are above what they're asking for, I guess.
As you watch Basima, she is rather lazy, just milling around the kitchen, not really even taking her time, just kind of like, standing there for a brief minute, just disdainfully looking. There's this slight, honestly, there's almost a slight fear in her movements. Like she's taking in the quiet of the kitchen for one last time. But when she is moving to prepare food, there's diligent movement. She's handling spices by the pinch and by the hand and by the pour, as if she has been doing it her whole life. This is either someone who has taken care of a large family and been the cook for like a generational family, or someone that has had very expert training in it. Even though she's cooking for a skeleton crew right now, when the entirety of the Atreides household will be here, she may not like to cook for a massive amount of people in the residency, but it will happen with flair, diligence, and to the letter of any member of the royal family that requests. She just doesn't want to do it. She likes how things are.
Nava, are you all right?
She kind of like bristles for a moment and stops and looks at you. My name is Basima.
My apologies.
It's all right. You are new. And I'm preparing dinner for all of us.
My question still stands. Are you all right?
It has been so quiet for the last 2 years that I understand what it is like to serve a mighty person or a mighty family. I am just used to slower, quieter situations. I'm not looking forward to a bunch of people unfamiliar with our ways and unfamiliar with our dishes and unfamiliar with this kitchen to come in and expect me to train them or to teach them, or for them to expect me to do what they say. I would rather work with someone than for someone, if you understand.
I understand incredibly well. What would you have, Basima? Just things stay the way they are, or do you have a family you want to go home to, or?
I do have a family. They are doing well. The wages I get here helps them. I would just like to. I prefer cooking for 17 than for 1700. This residency will be full of people, full of staff, full of your Duke, his family, his staff, his stewards, his footmen, his soldiers.
People that are, and I do not mean any disrespect with this, and kind of puts his hands up in like a don't shoot the messenger kind of way, will lack the amount of respect for your craft that you rightly deserve, I wager.
Yes. Your chefs will come in and say what they like and expect these dishes. We do not have, unless you are bringing your own food, how can we make your wherever you're from? Sure, you will bring your own food. You are a big noble house.
Well, let's be clear. I'm not quite a big noble house. With the same kind of like intonation, or rather like the same kind of expression that he had on his face when Lyra was like, I don't need to know much about y'all. Y'all are a small house. House Reese is much closer to the 17 than the 1700, but I understand.
You can do me a favor, and when your Duke arrives and when his kitchen staff arrives, perhaps you can give them a good word to maybe listen to the person that has been here for years, rather than the one that is bringing in their own knives and expecting their own sharpener, if you understand me.
I do understand you. Basima, did you happen to hear about what happened to Arvio?
No, he's a lazy bastard. What happened to him? Did he trip over his own foot and claim that he fell down the stairs again?
Well, behind the facade of that quote unquote lazy bastard is quite the skilled runner.
Well, he certainly runs away from his work very well.
That I cannot argue, but he is running towards some work now for House Reese.
You're taking him.
I am.
Well, I hope you do not pay him until he actually does work.
Well, let me be frank and clear, because if you haven't already guessed, and I can totally understand if you wouldn't bother, because any kind of gestures to himself is like, I get it, I'm supposed to be this noble, why would you pay attention to me? I tend to wear my heart on my sleeve a little bit, and I have a great respect for what it is that you do. I won't sit here and kiss your feet as if I think you're the greatest thing this place has ever seen, but I do respect what you do, and I do respect how you do it. And if you find and feel that this place does not suit you when the Atreides arrive, you get your word to me, and you can come work for House Reese.
Lord, it sounds like you are collecting us Erekeen and taking them to your magic wet planet.
Collecting is a disgusting way to put that, and I do resent it. But as I told someone very recently, I believe that people are the strength of a great house, and that those that want to can and should be in a place where they are respected for what they do, and those that do not have to be. I will not be offended if you decide that my offer is not to your liking, but I do want you to know it's there.
Thank you for your offer. I was born in Arakeen. I will stay on the Arrakis. I will show your staff, your cooks, your chefs that I am to be respected.
He smiles. Good. Good. And who knows? Maybe, if I'm lucky, that will extend to House Reese as well. And he kind of leaves her to it, and he's going to head back to his quarters.
You just,
feeling like he understands Bosnian just a little bit.
as you turn and leave, you're about 3 steps out of the kitchen where you just hear laughter, joyful laughter coming from the kitchen. Just like the funniest thing that must have been said. And she is just, you hear the cooking, you hear the clanging of pots, and just this rich laughter. Lyra. Talora is cleaning the relief. Arzu has left. You see him turning off toward the ballroom. Where are you headed? Are you looking for your sister?
Yes, I am headed to find my sister.
Demira, where were you heading?
I was actually headed towards the servants' quarters. So like not walking fast. So she's kind of taking her time and observing everything, like as far as just the house itself, and kind of watching everyone going about their business quietly, kind of trying to go unnoticed while she's observing. So I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard to catch up with her.
No, because the fastest way would be straight up the staircase from the grand foyer.
Mhm.
So yeah, there would be, yeah, Lyra, it's very easy to see which way she went.
I'm headed in her direction then.
Okay. So yeah, Demira, as you're taking your time, you do see a couple of the other staff members walking. You see Jamelia coming from the upstairs servant quarters, carrying some new linen into what looks like toward the main bedrooms.
Mm.
Just doing, and she kind of looks at you and nods and looks away as she crosses your path. Lyra, as you're coming to the top of the stairs, you see Jamelia stepping by, and she looks at you and smiles and kind of bows as she's going into, looks like she's going into where Paul's room would be.
Take note, and I make a straight line to Demira.
Okay. It's super easy to catch up.
Sister, we have some talking to do.
Oh, do we now?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that you did all your talking in the grand foyer earlier.
Oh no, I have so many more words to have. You know this.
Well, please lead the way.
I'm gonna lead towards Jessica's chambers. Would be.
Okay. Yeah, that's the main ducal bedroom. So back toward the stairs, and then there's a separate landing just up a couple of steps and then into that very, very large room. And as you enter, everything is still exactly where you deigned it to be.
Perfect. So now that we have a spy amidst our ranks, I will ask you again, sister, why do we trust Arazu?
You're questioning me, sister.
Yes, I need to know why I would be supporting him.
My word is no longer enough for you. Interesting.
There's a lot that has happened in the past couple of days. I just need to
Oh.
understand why you have an interest in Arazu.
Oh, I've noticed. That was quite the performance earlier. There seems to be a change in you, sister. I've noticed.
In what sense?
Your demeanor, your words.
I'm only carrying out what Reverend Mother has told me to do.
Are you sure? It's just Reverend Mother's words and her mission and task for you that motivates you as of now?
Absolutely. Why would it be anything else?
Demira looks down at her sister's stomach. I wonder.
You wonder what?
Just saying.
Please,
I
sister, I am
wonder.
an open book to you. You know this. I wouldn't hide anything from you. What do you want to know?
You have lots of questions about Arzu, but yet you seem to have been keeping certain things regarding your mission from
Such
me.
as?
I don't have all the details about your situation.
I've told you everything that there is. I was sent off to control basically what Reverend Mother wants me to control. That's what's sitting and living inside of me right now. What more is there to tell?
You say that you're aligned with what Reverend Mother wants in her mission.
Mhm.
Is that the only person that you're aligned to?
What are you inferring? That I'm some sort of spy?
I did not say that. Those are your words, not mine.
So then what do you think I am?
I'm just curious regarding the father and the father's motives.
The father's motives. Sister, I told you everything. What more do you want to know? What detail exactly are you looking for to make your mind at ease?
I would ask, but I don't believe you would answer.
Try me.
The father, is he of a different house?
Yes.
In which house is that?
What house would you think it would be?
I truly hope that it was not the one that I'm thinking. Probably the most
So,
dangerous of them all.
which is?
I think we know.
Do we? Because right now I think that House Reese might be one of the most dangerous.
Oh. Back to House Reese again. I can tell you that they are far less dangerous or anything to worry about compared to the Harkonnen. Sister.
Have you heard what comes out of Abrazu's mouth? If I wasn't mistaken, it would be like he was trying to raise up ranks against House Atreides.
He is someone with ideals, someone who wants to help people. If anything,
And
yes, I
keep
would
them in
think that
servitude.
not servitude. Unlike others, other houses you seem to be aligned with these days.
What other houses do you say? I am here to be aligned with Reverend Mother and Reverend Mother's word only.
It's interesting that you were given this task to bear the child.
I was the only one who had the skill set to. Never mind.
Have you ever wondered why you?
No. I bet you have, though.
I didn't until now.
What is it that you believe of me, sister?
I want to believe the best and not the worst. And I hope
So
you won't
believe
let
the
me
best.
down.
I don't plan on letting you down.
But you keep questioning my lord.
Because you
He
don't
has
answer my
no
questions straight.
intentions. He has no intentions of trying to do some coup that you're accusing him of. They don't even have the manpower in order to be able to execute such a plan.
So then why do you have such an interest in him?
It's just say, you have your mission, I have mine.
Lines have been drawn then.
Just hope that those lines merge in the same direction and don't cross one another.
I will keep that firmly in mind, dear sister. After all, we did grow up together, did we not?
Yes, we did. We've been through many of things.
So then know you can trust me.
And don't question my choices, sister. Because that means you do not trust me.
Just needed to hear it from you that I have to trust this person.
Is that stash, does that belong to them?
It belongs to me.
It was not a gift from them?
No.
Understood.
But there's more where that came from.
Oh, is there now?
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Insurance policies.
Seems they'll be quite necessary.
I would say so. So how's Reese? Do we elevate them or do we keep everybody else happy?
As I said before, it is a house that does deserve to be elevated. It's all about timing. In due time. In due time.
All right. Well, I suppose we should probably find Arazu, given that Novieh is out.
And we have to decide what we are going to do with everything that took place. We are making an assumption and assuming that no one else was witness to what happened. And that your new underlings will also keep their mouths shut.
Oh, they will. Reverend Mother is very aware of them,
You've already been in touch with Reverend Mother.
of course.
I was unaware that we even had access to those types of communications.
Mhm. I have my way.
I see. I see.
You want to
Well.
know the whole truth.
I will not force it out of you.
Oh, I know you can't. But how about we have some tea and talk about it?
Well, shall we?
Lyra takes a second to walk ahead of Demira, like a hot second. Just like a, it like starts to walk towards the kitchen.
As you come out of the ducal bedroom, you see Jamelia just exiting Paul's bedroom, and kind of like as the two of you come out, she just like as a start, just and looks concerned at Demira. But then also, Lyra, you're sensing that she is looking at you as a guide, but she's also kind of fearful of you.
What's wrong, dear child?
I just, everything of you have told me about the sisterhood, seeing the two of you, is everyone so close?
Lyra looks at Demira to take the lead on this one.
You do develop close bonds with your sisters. It also, too, is for those who may not have family. It's a chosen family, as it were.
Just like you and Shala.
I did not expect to be so close to her until you arrived.
As I said, those bonds do form. You come to rely on one another. It's very important during your training. And then she shoots a glance over at Lyra.
Ouch. I know what kind of glance that is.
Jamelia bows again. It's like, ma'am, the linens have been changed and the rooms have been dusted. May I take some personal time to go visit family in the city?
You may, but hurry back.
Thank you. And she immediately just very quickly crosses the area heading toward the servants' quarters, like with haste, just kind of like, I was in the middle of something, I need to get out of here.
Demira, you saw that.
I did.
Tea later?
Later.
Come with. It was like I'm gonna follow her. that was sus.
She came out of
Paul's room.
Paul's room.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, I think Demira is going to actually head to Paul's room if Lyra's heading to follow.
Yep.
Okay. Demira, may I have a understand at 2, please. So it's an understand challenge at difficulty 2.
Now, just to clarify, is this for me to go
To-
into the room?
To notice things, to like understand the setting.
Okay. Oof.
As you came in, everything looks fine. The bed is kind of the linens have been changed. It looks like a little it's not as crisp as it could be. It looks like it was a little rushed. But all in all, it is dusted. The linens are clean. Everything seems in place. But there's definitely a kind of a rushed quality to the bed linens.
Could I go a little bit further into that bed area in the surrounding space and instead use my discipline, using a different set of eyes versus just kind of the once over that is more like, okay, like everything seems okay as far as just cleanliness and her doing her job somewhat, but now it's activating a different mode for Demira.
Absolutely. It'll still be a challenge of 2.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're also using duty.
Yes.
Okay.
But this is espionage I'm using.
Whoa. Okay. That you hit 2 and you've got 1 current momentum on that. I'm actually going to give you hyper awareness.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask if I could
you don't
do
have
it.
to spend you don't have to spend the momentum for that.
Okay.
The bottom of the bed is tucked in very nicely, but as it gets closer to the top, which would be closer to the door, it seems to be messier. It seems to be rushed. It seems to be like there was some sort of distraction going on. There's a possibility that if the door was open and if Jamelia was outside of the bedroom and toward the ducal bedroom where you were speaking, there is a possibility she may have overheard. You could see how that could happen, but between the top of the bed, the finishing of it not being crisp and folded, and her reaction coming out of the room, something happened. She is upset, or there is something concerning is going on.
And checking underneath the bed, like, because what Demir's going to do is also to like fix the bedding that was out of place. But in the process of like, because she's planning on also to lifting that kind of area that in case something was stored away underneath.
Okay. That's yeah, you're not finding anything unknown.
As she's like kind of like, you know how they do in like hotels where it's like kind of lifting and kind of also
feeling under it.
Yeah. Okay. The walls itself, does it seem like it's thin enough where someone could hear?
No. They're
No.
very thick walls.
Okay.
But since you are very, very diligently going through the room and checking the bed and like looking at the walls, could you please give me a daunting discipline test? 3.
Oof.
Yeah,
Okay.
a difficulty of 3, please.
All right.
You still have that 1 momentum left over if you would like a additional die, or you can always give me threat.
I'm gonna go in with the extra momentum. I
Okay.
don't want to give you any more. If memory serves me correct, you have like at least like 3 or something
Yeah,
crazy.
I've got a lot. Yeah. Unlike momentum, threat does not fade.
Okay. So
Yes.
that's 3 dice instead of the
Yep.
2.
3d20. Got to hit 3 or more successes, please. Oh, you got 3, but that's a 20. That's a
Yeah.
complication.
Good times.
So
Okay.
I'm going to give you a choice.
All right.
Would you like me to move that complication into threat and give you the full rundown? Or would you like a near success?
We ball. Let's go. Threat.
Okay. So there's a point as you're checking the walls and all of that, that your hyper awareness, all of that, your conditioning, everything is kind of telling you something is wrong. And you finish checking under the bed. And then as you step away, it's not the bed, it's the shadows on it. The drift globe that is over the bed that Paul Atreides would be sleeping in. Looks like, because you're very used to these globes. Every residence has some version of one. There are greater ones, less one. These are very ornate and beautiful, but the light should be scattered evenly. This looks like there's a pattern to it, almost like a herringbone. And you can see there's a strange, it looks like cross-hatched pattern at the base of the globe. Like there's something in it.
Oh, I mean, Demir's small, but like I'm grabbing chair or something to like be able to like climb up this thing
Okay.
to try to see what's in it.
Can you give me a move at difficulty 2, please?
Oof, okay.
You were trying to get around it and into it and trying to see up close what's going on. Now,
May I help my sister real quick?
Sure.
Don't forget about Prana Bintu.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, so I'm gonna re-roll that 1 that I just did then.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't realize that also too would apply.
Yeah, if you do a
there we
move
go.
test.
Okay.
You got it. You got it.
Whew,
As you
thank you
get
for the
up,
reminder.
as you get up close to the glow globe, you notice that the lines aren't an ornamentation. Filling the bottom of the glow globe are a series of very fine needles. Just laid ever so gently on the inside of it. And as you are very carefully turning it, you see this slick black tinge to the tips of each one. And there are hundreds. It seems that under some circumstance, maybe enough pressure in the bed, or enough time spent in the room, this glow globe will explode, raining poison darts all over the bed. This is absolutely a trap set for Paul Atreides. And that's where we will go to break. I need a little bit more tea. I want them to think about what just happened. And yeah, because now things are getting real interesting. So thank you very much. Hang out. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, just real quick. Make sure you're drinking enough water here on Arrakis. And yeah, we'll be right back with Dune Desertfall. Welcome back to Dune Desertfall. If you're just joining us now, apparently the glow globe that is hanging above the future bed for Paul Atreides is full of poison needles that would rain down on someone sleeping or laying down or even moving the bed. Demira, as you're dealing with that, Lyra, you catch up very quickly to Jamelia. Jamelia just got out of your way and then is moving brisk but casually brisk, drops off the linens and is moving into her own quarters in the women's dormitory.
Jamila,
She kind of like stops at her door. It's like, yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes.
could you come here one moment?
Yes, ma'am. And she very, I wouldn't say cautiously, but slowly walks toward you.
I need to know something.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you hiding from me?
I'm not hiding. I'm just afraid.
Of?
You and your sister and the sisterhood. It
Why?
seems like it's a lot of responsibility and power that I don't understand.
You will come to understand it.
I just don't think I'm worthy. Why me?
Because all women have a chance to survive in their own way. Why are you afraid, dear?
Because I how do you use your skills correctly and not for revenge or to get away from someone?
What are you implying?
what makes what makes your power good but not evil, or moral but not immoral?
I believe that is, first off, that's in the eye of the beholder, whether it's good, bad, evil, not evil. But Reverend Mother teaches us to obey her rules and her command and her plan. And so if you stay within the confines of that, you should be fine.
Could it get me away from someone?
Who are you trying to get away from?
I just have bad choices in relationships.
Jamila, tell me the truth.
I pick partners poorly. I've been used by a lot. And I don't. It's hard to get out. And I don't want to be trapped in another thing I can't get out of.
Lyra very calmly uses the voice on
Shit.
Jamila, and not in such of a commanding, like, terror tone, but more of, tell me exactly who's hurt you.
Okay. That's going to be a direct communicate challenge.
Mhm.
Jamelia will use faith. And
I'm gonna use power because I have my statement. Power is given to those who can keep their composure, and I think at this point Jamila is gonna crack.
okay. Well, Jamelia's got 3 successes on that roll.
Oh, da-da-da. Ooh,
Oh,
You could.
Wait, we
Why-
gained momentum, right? Because I had a few,
There is 1, but you used it.
I used it. Darn it. Okay.
Now, Lyra, you could, if you'd like, because the voice does give you
uh-huh.
abilities. And
Mhm.
instead of, you can use threat in the same way you use momentum.
Mhm.
So if you would like, because when you use the voice, you can give me 1, 2, or 3 points of threat in order to get automatic successes, if you'd like.
Yep,
So
yep,
if you
give me
want to,
3. Yeah, uh-huh.
if you want to
Go
get
on.
rid of, if you want to basically make that die roll null and give me 3 points of threat
Yeah.
in order to win this
I mean,
challenge.
I mean, look, by the end of this, with all the threat we have, like, I feel like this planet's just gonna blow up already. So
Yeah.
let's go.
So you begin to say it softly, but there is some sort of resistance. Whether she is afraid or scared of you or something. And you feel that pushback. And through your training, you are going to make her hear you. So you push through hard. And she just, you see her eyes, again, that just compliance that overcomes people by using the voice. And she looks at you with fear in her eyes. I am being used by my lover to gain information about this building.
Just this building?
Yes. He's using me to get information for him to use to give to other people
I see.
that may be enemies of your house.
This does provide such a conundrum. Who is this person?
His name is Anton. He lives in
Where
the
does
city.
Anton live? Is that who you're going to see?
Yes.
Well, now you know I can't let you do that.
He's threatened me. He if I'm discovered, he says he'll have me killed. I've done too much for him.
Hmm. Oh, this is unfortunate.
If he gets found out, I'll get found out too.
What if I say I could protect you?
I don't have a choice, do I?
You always have a choice.
Arzu.
Trevor, is it fair since I think Arzu was heading from the kitchen back
You were
to...
heading to the quarters.
So is it fair to say that I perhaps would come across this conversation?
Yeah, because the men and women's quarters are on the same floor, down slightly separate hallways. So yeah, as you were heading toward the men's quarters, you see Lyra and Jamelia having a small conversation down the hallway toward the women's quarters. It's
I'm
like
going
right
to
outside one of their doors.
Okay, I'm going to approach, but I'm not going to approach quietly, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to sneak up on them.
Okay. How are you approaching? Just like casually?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lyra, it's easy to know that someone is coming up behind you.
Mhm.
And you do see Jamelia's eyes dart up and past you and then back to yours and then down.
I'm assuming I hear footsteps.
Oh, yes.
I'm assuming that I know these footsteps well enough.
You just spent quite a conversation with that person and witnessed him walk away. So, yeah, he's not trying to hide who he is.
Okay. I would say for Arazu, being the perceptive one, you see Lyra actually pull out her let me make sure I say this correctly, her Gom Jabbar. She like flicks it out, but like hearing your footsteps again, flicks it back into her into her hand and like up her sleeve again.
Okay. Do you make it obvious?
Um, as obvious as anybody would if they're perceptive enough.
I want to
I mean,
see.
He's
Give me-
constantly watching, so he would have seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have me roll something, but
honestly, it would be
Literally have
I mean, it would be. Let me just double check. A character sheet here. I would actually say it would be a difficulty 2, so you would remove it to 0.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see her just kind of roll what looks like a sharpened hairpin for a second, hearing her footsteps, and then just roll it back. Just like, who's coming? Oh, it's you.
Okay. His pace does not change.
All right, dear Jamila. I'm going to come up with a plan here. And we're going to get you to safety.
Would it be fair to say that I heard her say that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And Jamelia is like looking at you, Lyra, and looking up at Arzu. Is like, I was told to meet him in an hour. What do I do?
You will beat him in an hour.
I'm still going?
You just won't be going alone.
Okay.
I promise
Well.
you'll stay safe. Arazu.
Promises of safety on Arrakis, I hear, are as rare as finding water outside the city walls, but just from what I hear.
Would you like to help keep a woman safe from harm's way?
Does a man thirst in the desert?
I take that as a yes.
You absolutely should.
Just need to find my dear sister.
Speaking of which, hands full of glow globe, full of poisonous needles. Demira, what are you doing?
First of all, do I identify the type of needle and like who would who would basically have this type of capability of doing this?
It could be anyone. It looks like it's kind of like a
It's not like a Fremen thing. It's not
no. It's like a prepackaged thing. Like someone, like an assassin setting a trap, would use, like, they would unroll this like series of needles. It doesn't look like it's the needles are manufactured. As you're looking at them, they're manufactured. They're not like rough cut. They are polished. They are very fine. They will when the trap is sprung, it looks like they will just fall in almost an oddly beautiful arc, covering the bed in these needles. This is a
Okay.
very elegantly designed trap. The person knew exactly what they were doing when they replaced this glow globe.
Okay, and it's okay if I have to roll for this, as far as just like, because of the fact that I do have deductive reasoning, would I be able to infer that basically the person who set the trap is not the same person who made the bed, meaning Jamila was not the one who basically you set the globe trap? Or would I not be able to determine?
I would say,
Because you mentioned
what?
it was messy, that
Yeah.
it was like, seemed like she rushed, but then with a trap so intricate, it doesn't seem like, at least logically, it would have been the same, like, because that's sloppy. Like the fact that any movement could have set off the trap. I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of it in that way. Like, okay, these two can't be the same person.
No. You've seen Jamelia walk. She is swift. She's charming, but she does not have the skill to do this.
No. Okay. That's basically what I needed to establish. What I am going to do, set that globe right back where it was. Remove the chair, put it right back where it was. Like nothing ever happened, other than obviously someone came in and cleaned it.
Okay.
So I'm
So
leaving that for now.
okay. So the incredibly dangerous, violently lethal trap that you discovered, you're just leaving there? Okay.
For a reason.
Cool. All right. Player agency. I'm just
Yes.
like, all right, here's a very definitely deadly device. Okay, cool.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go look for Mara.
Oh, because you have the book that she should currently be doing inventory in the basement.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure that I carefully, subtly exit said room.
Ooh, subtle step. Okay.
So after doing all of that movement, and if I have to use Prana Bendu in order to basically make sure that the movement is careful, I'm going to make sure that I slowly, carefully, swiftly move out of the room. But I will look to see if I spot Lyra on the way out. before I head over to Mara.
I feel like I was on my way to you
Oh yeah.
already. So
Yeah. Like you manipulating this globe and inspecting it, this took time. This isn't a quick, oh wow, that's trapped. I'm going to put it right back. No, you are, because of your conditioning, your hyper awareness, your subtle step talent. This is very delicate. It is taking you time. But as you exit the room, you do see Jamelia, Lyra, and Arzu all the way down the far end of the hallway. And Lyra is coming your way.
I will do a certain it's like a certain hand movement that basically is like this is important. I need to talk to you. So it's just kind of that swift flick with my hand. And I kind of go off to the side a little bit. So then that way Jamila doesn't see me automatically coming out of the room. In order to basically be at the side to wait for Lyra to come in my direction.
I move as quickly as possible to get to Demira.
Erzu, Jamelia looks at you as you're standing there. She says, "Can you come with me real quick?" And she like motions to her quarters.
He nods to follow.
She goes in and reaches deep underneath a small wooden, like it just looks like palm wood nightstand, and pulls out this small fabric wrapped bundle and hands it to you. I used this to get into the safe. Anton gave this to me so I could steal the mining files for him.
I see.
It's, as you unwrap it, it is a safe cracker. It is a very well made one.
He's going to look it over just to see if there's anything that's gonna quote unquote bite him, you know.
No, it's harmless. It is absolutely a safe cracker.
Okay.
But
he's going to take it.
It's a very, very good one.
Okay. He's gonna take it. I didn't quite hear everything you were talking about. Who is this Anton fellow?
He's been using me to gain information about the residency and people here, and to possibly use against your family that is coming.
I see. And Lyra, she has a vested interest in your safety, I think. Do you feel that that's true?
Yes, she's telling me about her sisterhood.
I see. And you feel that you must make this meeting with your friend Anton, huh?
He's told me if I don't come when he asks, he'll begin to put blame on me.
Interesting. All right. Well, Jamila, do you want this Anton fella taken care of? And let me be extremely clear. Do you want him alive or do you want him dead?
I just don't want to be used anymore. I'm not, this is not my fight. This is not my, I
understand. I only ask because if you have Lyra handle this, he is likely going to die. And if you want that, I understand.
I love him, but I don't know. I'm afraid that If he dies, I will too, because I helped him.
Oh, no, 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 sweetheart. And I apologize if that seems demeaning in any way. If Lyra takes care of this, nobody's ever going to know that you had anything to do with anything. That's how the Bene Gesserit work. I just
Okay.
wanted to know because I have a little bit of we'll call it sway that can get you out of this situation with Anton alive. Now, that being said, if he comes out of this alive, there is, no guarantee that he won't try and set you up somehow. So it is my professional opinion that you should go with what Lyra says.
She said I have to go meet him, but I'm not going alone.
Oh no, you are not going alone. That is not how I do things. And he like gives her like a smirk as if to say like, I'm also coming.
She just kind of nods and looks down. And Lyra, Demira, you right together as this conversation is going on, meeting halfway down the hallway.
We
I'm
have an
assuming-
urgent matter.
Yes, we do. Regarding the trap that has been set
Regarding
in the Duke's
Jamila.
quarters. Oh, well, she at least is not behind the trap that was placed.
No.
She's not capable. But do we have any information as far as who she's connected to? Whether or
Her
not they
lover,
have
Anton.
has he had access to the house,
She's given him information about the house
but not access.
that we know of yet,
So that means that there's another.
potentially.
Well, I kept the trap in place,
Smart.
so that way we can set our own trap.
Good idea. There is a matter, though. Jamila needs to meet Anton in an hour. We're going to go. And we're going to take care of this problem.
We're
Mm-hmm. You,
Do you-
me, and I'm sure Arazu has already made friends.
I see. How do we want to handle the quarters?
Leave it for now. We'll do a thorough sweep when we come back and have more information from this Anton.
As you wish.
We should get Novieh. Might be a very good asset right now.
Good idea. He'll know
So I
that
feel-
some of the people who are familiar with the same skill set as he is.
Precisely. Let's reconvene with Arazu and Jamila and hash out a plan.
They head in that direction.
Jamilia's still, she's like leaning against the wall, head down. Just her feet are shifting back and forth. She's very uncomfortable and afraid.
Arzu is very clear of a path between Jamilia and the door, so that like if anyone comes in, they don't it's his back isn't to the door. They can easily see that like there is a good distance between them. She is safe, like that kind of a situation. Now Who else is Anton affiliated with? If you don't know, I understand, but
There's
anything you know.
there's just another man that comes and goes, a friend of his named Nia.
Nia.
He's a water seller.
What does this Nia look like?
Um, he's shorter than you. From Arakeen. Short hair.
Is this Nia often with the rest of the water sellers, or is he off on his own?
He's in the water cellar area, yes. But he does come by often and spends time with Anton. They're friends.
And that's all you know?
Yes.
Jamelia, I want you and he plucks this pin, the house the pin that is the crest of House Reese, like off, and he kind of just takes the backing out from under, the backside of the coat, and then he just snaps it together. I want you to hold on to this for me. You think you can do that?
Yeah,
And he just holds it out.
yes, sir. And kind of like gingerly takes it and she's holding onto it with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like knuckles are white.
You can tell Lyra, you can tell Demira, you can tell whoever you want that you have that pin. I just need you to hold on to it. You'll know what to do with it.
And she's holding on to it like just it looks like for her dear life. She's not putting it away or anything yet. She's just definitely just holding on to it, almost like kind of like a safety, some sort of like safety tool. Just trying to push her worry and fear into it.
I hope it helps.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I want you to know that somebody will ask you for that. And it is imperative that you show them before you say anything.
Yes, my lord.
Oh, no, not that. Just Arzu is fine.
Yes, sir.
He winces a little bit, but doesn't push the issue. They will ask gently. All you have to do is show it.
Yes, sir. And she looks up as Demira and Lyra approach. And you see her, she's just holding on to that badge, that crest of House Reese, the lion head with the constellations around it. She's just gripping it like it's a safety blanket.
And then Arzu turns as he hears people enter the room, and his eyes light up a little bit brighter when Demira steps through. Oh, Lyra, look at you. Perfect timing. Demira. I've got a new name for you, Lyra. Naya, water seller.
Really?
He seems to be in league with this Anton fella. Now,
How so?
as far as Jamelia knows, they are friends, and he is around sometimes while Anton is spinning his little web. Now, in a show of good faith, I leave the floor to you. But I would, if I could make a request, I would love to go and have a conversation with this water seller.
Hmm.
But again, show's all yours. And he kind of like puts his hand behind his back, like behind his head, even though he's not leaning back or anything, but just very relaxed, kind of like, go ahead, do what you got to do.
There was
How do you
someone
feel?
else. Oh, sorry. I just was going to say that there was someone else who seemed very interested when we first arrived in the water cellars. Just find it a bit of a coincidence.
Are you suggesting Novieh?
No,
Who?
a certain person who greeted us.
Hmm. I see. Mara?
Perhaps.
Hmm.
She's
All
connected.
right. Keep that in mind. Arzu, how do you feel about having a conversation with Anton first?
I mean, like I said, show's all yours. I just figure these two working together, I would, shall we say, lessen any chance that he would say anything. My
Noted.
thought, my thought is that the three of you would go speak with Anton, and I would see Naya myself. But however you'd like to handle things is fine by me.
You're a far better talker than I am, Arzu, and I would feel more confident that you speak with Anton and let him know that it's not right to shake down young ladies such as Jamila.
Do you actually want me to talk, Lyra, or do you want something else to do the talking?
No, I would like you to do the talking so that I can listen to what Anton has to say.
All right. Well, you know, all I know how to do is be direct. So
Then be the best person that you can be, Arzu. That's all I'm asking for.
it is as you say.
Sister, I need you to protect this young one.
And I will do so
At all costs.
at all costs. Of course.
Lastly, we need to find Novieh. Novieh is going to be our key to taking care of this problem. And then we'll move on to Naya.
In a further show of good faith, and he reaches behind him and he produces a safe cracker, and instead of handing it to Lyra, he hands it to Demira.
And Demira will take it.
The documents that were missing from the safe in that room you were so interested in, I have, shall we say, procured those. Our buddy
Fantastic.
Anton.
Well, just so you know, I discovered something interesting in the Duke's quarters. A special trap. A deadly one.
It was Paul's.
Pause. Sorry, pause.
It's okay.
We're going to pretend that I said that.
Oh,
When you say that, Jamilia's eyes go wide and she turns white.
Oh, did you not know?
No, ma'am. What?
Oh, any little movement. You could have been dead in an instant.
I assume this is your lover.
The white is like turning to green, like she's gonna be sick. But he's never been here. I don't know. I don't know about that trap. That wasn't me. I didn't do it.
He doesn't have access?
Not that I know of. He's never come here. I've never seen him here.
Then
I
why were
always
you
go to
giving
meet
him
him.
information about the building?
Hmm.
I don't know.
Jamelia,
We'll find out.
yeah, we as the esteemed Lyra has so eloquently pointed out, we will indeed find out. But you have to know that if Anton is getting information from you, it may not be him, but it is somebody who is very willing to buy that information off of him. So you remember the part earlier where I told you that it is extremely likely that Lyra would not let this man live?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say that's a pretty definite yeah. Without looking at Lyra.
This individual didn't care if you lived or died. It's quite clear.
He threatened to kill me if I said anything, and that if he got caught, he would tell everyone that I helped him.
Demir, would you do me a favor?
Of course.
Would you have one of the footmen, say Umar, head on out to the spaceport? You know why. And he kind of like darts his eyes over so that she hopefully catches the attention of the crest that Jamelia is holding. All he's got to do is just run there and start shouting that people are the strength of a great house. And that's all it's needed. And for Trevor's setup, that would get Arzu's Mentat friend's attention.
Got it.
Who would then approach Jamelia asking for the crest.
Got it.
And then she would likely help Jamelia in any way that's necessary.
Got it.
Her name is Tess.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay. This is a very, very interesting development. So the three of you are going to go into Arakeen with Jamelia to approach Anton?
Well, the first part of the plan, hopefully, is to find Novieh so that all of us can
Mhm.
go together.
Okay.
And then, of course, Demira will take care of the task that Arzu has given her.
Got
Yeah,
it.
the hope is that Demira doesn't have to go far. Like Umar is gonna do the running.
Oh, Umar and Cora are both outside, still repairing the still like making sure that the main entrance is
Yeah,
all taken care of.
that was my hope. So like as we are all leaving out, Demira could just be like, "Hey kid, just go run to the spaceport and shout this out, and then
Mhm.
come back." Like, because then it means that she doesn't have to go off doing this thing and
Yep.
can stay with
And
us.
Demira knows because of she knows where everyone is at this
Right.
point in the house at this time.
Sure. No, super easy.
Lovely.
So heading out, just heading out to the main courtyard. Umar is there with Cora.
Mhm.
They're hammering away, trying to, just make sure that the main gates are aligned correctly so they open very easily and closed a lot more than the having to push it open like it has been. Shakir is there as well, leaning against the wall, kind of picking his teeth, watching them work.
Demira will try her best to kind of approach, but very much like trying to not be noticed as much by like Shakir and I think you said it was Cora, right?
Cora, yeah, Cora's the really, really large one.
Yes, who's
Yeah.
kind of quiet but like
Yeah.
big. Yeah. In order to approach Umar, and like it would be like a tap, like a very like it's a strong tap but very like swift to get his attention
Mm-hmm.
from behind.
Yeah,
And if
no, go ahead.
no, if he does end up turning, like before he turns all the way, she's going to whisper basically exactly the orders that were given by Arzu, just you know, basically saying that it's urgent to fulfill the task that I just gave you from Lord Reese.
Okay. Yeah, that's very easy to do. As they set the door, they kind of back off. He backs off a little bit as Core is beginning to move it, and you do feel him begin to move as you tap. As you're walking by, Shakir immediately like sits up against the wall and starts looking around to make sure one of the stones is still in place and such. And you notice that the light is getting dim. The sun is beginning to set. Umar runs off toward the spaceport. Cora looks a little bit concerned, but notices that you told him and says nothing, having already heard from Arvio that as Arvio left, that things are, people are being fired and changing and all of that. And it's interesting. Arakeen comes to life as the sun sets. Lights turn on. Deep, rich cinnamon scents come out of homes. The briskness of a night desert wind just briefly cuts the oppressive heat that is still coming from the buildings and from the stones that you walk on. And very quietly, Jamelia begins giving you directions to a wealthier side of Arakeen. But I think we're going to go ahead and end our episode there a little bit short, because one of the primary goals of the three of them and Jamelia are also to find Novieh, who is currently somewhere in the city with Shala, disposing of a body. And it would be unfair for JPG to miss such a fun event. So we're going to be ending a little early tonight. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate all of you coming. And again, 33% off all of Fallout RPGs at Modiphius.com. Go to dreamsandmachines.com and click on Competition 2024 if you have 1,000 or less followers in your socials in order to get into that contest. And start playing. Go to the link in chat, and you can get $10 toward any game if you make a new account, and with our big Dune event that's going on there. But yeah, real quick, while we're ending a little bit earlier, let's just kind of go around the horn here in case you're new to the stream, and check out who my amazing actual play performers are, starting with the wonderful and amazing Lord Arzu Reese.
Hello, everyone. I am your favorite burb on the interweb. You can call me a Black Sparrow. I am a TTRPG player, voice actor, game player, and baseball fan that resides mostly on the internet. You can find me at a Black Sparrow most places. And I'm just grateful to be here with lovely people like Cynthia.
Speaking of which, the voice using mildly threatening and very forward.
Mild? Are you
mildly
are you sure?
threatening. Just
Are you
mildly
sure
threatening.
about? Are you sure?
Mildly threatening. Member of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood of Lyra Dew.
Oh dear Lord, I'm just mildly threatening. I don't know what you're talking about. Hi everyone, I'm Cynthia Marie. I am a TTRPG enthusiast. I play on boatload of streams. I play on a little known vampire game, or a couple of games that you guys may know about. I do a whole bunch of different streams and stuff like that. And I'm also a woman in STEM. So I haven't been much on doing a whole lot of streaming because I've been busy working. But if you want to join me on socials, again, they've been a little bit bleak because I've been super busy, also recovering. I'm a cancer survivor, which you'll see a lot of on my Instagram, Cynthia__Marie. Or you can find me on Twitter. I'm starting to get a little bit back into it at Syndancer, or you can just catch up on all the other stuff that I've done. So yeah, that's me.
And of course, her sister and her sister playing member of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood, Demira Zool.
Sister. Okay, I had to do it. Anyway, hello
It's like
everybody.
sister, and sister.
Literally. Hello everyone. I'm Utahime, Utahime. You can find me Utahime cosplay pretty much everywhere except on the app, formerly known as Twitter. You can find me at Brianna DeCoster on there. As the name suggests, I am a cosplayer, but I also host events and conventions, and I'm up to lots of tabletop shenanigans on a weekly basis, especially here on Modiphius. So if you want to check out any of everything that I'm up to, and there's going to be some announcements soon, please be sure to follow me if you'd like and see all the nerdy adventures I go on. And there's going to be hopefully some dust that's wiped off of my YouTube soon, maybe with some Magic the Gathering content. So stay tuned for that.
Sweet.
And yeah, for newbie players like myself, we're trying to help all the nerds just continue to nerd out together. But yes, that is me, and I'm going to pass it along because I don't know if everybody knows how amazing our
Hey, now.
GM is,
Hey,
but
now.
they should. They
Yeah.
should recognize.
I am the unreliable narrator in the bookends of your story. But I am Trevor Valle. I am a Hispanic professional GM. I am a writer, actual play performer, and a number of other things. And I wear many hats, many veils, and many Fremen breathing tubes all over the interwebs. I'm very proud to be here on the Modiphius channel doing Dune. It's one of my favorite IPs and one of my favorite 2D20 systems. But if you want to find me anywhere else, including at another table on Mondays with Sparrow here, or on a handful of other things, just go to my very poorly designed website, tattoosandbones.com, or find out, Tattoos and Bones at all my socials. And that's about it. I'm just getting right back into the swing of things, but I'm swinging back pretty hard. You're going to see me in a bunch of stuff coming up, so I'm going to really, really enjoy it. But on behalf of everyone here and Modiphius, we thank you very much for checking us out. And I don't know, we should totally raid somebody, especially if we're ending early. I mean, let's see. We've got our felted friends over at Perception, of course. Who else is on Mondays? Lost Caravan? We could go there. Defenders of Kobold, we can go there. Or should we just like hang out with our friends over at Perception Studios? Because there was a hell of a lot of fun there.
Perception Studios.
Yeah. Let's go see what Chunk and Cucumber and everybody's going on over there. So yeah, hang on, stay in the room. We're gonna head over to our puppety friends and see what's going on with them. But please come back next week because the days are running out. And soon House Atreides will arrive. And they have to find Anton before it's too late. So we see you next week right here, 6 p.m. Pacific time for Dune Desertfall. Thank you very much.